Hey guys, so much for going live at 5 o'clock. Sorry about that. I ended up with the twins at the last minute. And so that's what happens when you have a daughter that needs your help. So I had to run to the school, pick them up. I got the McDonald's because there's no way that I'm cooking, and ran back here. And here we are. And I have a client in exactly half an hour. So my goal is to make this a 20-minute live on grief. It's going to be really simple and really easy, and I'll tell you what it is. It's all about things not to do when grieving. I'm going to make it really simple and easy for us. So I just narrowed it down, and here it is. What are we not going to do while we're grieving? There's so many things that we don't understand about grief, and we've been told the lie about how grief affects our body, how we'll feel like this for the rest of our lives. But there's certain things that those are not true, but there are certain things that we as grievers need to do to protect ourselves and protect our own grief. My name is Sharon Brubaker. I'm a grief specialist. I'm the owner of the Grief School. The Grief School is the place where healing begins. The Grief School is the place where I teach women how to grieve and how to walk through the grieving process. So this is a list of things not to do. My name is Sharon Brubaker. Click the link in my bio, click the picture, and download that grief shit. This is a workbook that I put together all about the shitty parts of grief, and it gives you a great actionable step on how to start moving the grief. Everybody wants to know how to do grief right. But today I want to flip that. Let's talk about what not to do in our grief, because sometimes those things that we avoid can save our grief. What not to do. What not to do when grieving. I don't think we talk about all the things. There's four. There's actually four things that we're going to talk about that we're not going to do. Hey, friends, again, I want to just remind you, I'm only going to be here for 20 minutes. I was supposed to come on at 5. Unfortunately, I had to go get the twins for Brittany, but here we are. Okay. Everybody wants to know how to do the grief, But let's talk about what not to do, because sometimes the things that we avoid can save us from carrying extra pain. Sometimes the things that we avoid can help us in our grief, right? So we're talking about things not to do when grieving. Don't talk yourself out of 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 it. You got to do it. Right? There are moments where you don't want to do it today. I get that. But there are times where you allow that to go on for way too long. So number one is don't talk yourself out of grieving. If you've come upon a grieving experience, and if you're a griever, you're going to have to go through some of the pain. It's going to be very painful. You're going to have to go through the pain. Hey, Aida, I promise you it's going to happen. Many people say it wasn't that big of a loss. Or it's been so long, I shouldn't even be feeling this way by now. I should be over this already. But here's the truth. If you love them and you lost it, it hurts. And your grief is real. And there are no timelines. There's no ranking that we're going to do, right? We're not going to rank it in order. We're not going to rank it in the order of this timeline, this ranking system. We're not doing that. We're just going to allow ourselves to feel. What not to do when grieving. Don't talk yourself out of grieving. Don't do it, right? Denying grief doesn't make it disappear. It shoves it down where it festers. And when it festers, it grows the ugliest wart you ever want to see, that's full of gooky, ooky mess. Do not talk yourself out of grieving. Hey, Rebecca. Hi, Rachel. So, I once heard someone say I shouldn't still be sad. I shouldn't still be sad after 6 months. Let me tell you how dangerous that self-talk is. That is so dangerous to lock yourself in to that moment, to lock yourself into that moment. Have you ever told yourself that grief wasn't valid, that your grief wasn't valid? What happened when you tried to push it away? When you tell yourself it's not valid and you try to push it away, it doesn't go anywhere. It stays there and it continues to come back. Okay. What not to do when grieving? Don't talk yourself out of grieving. My name is Sharon Brubaker. I'm here for 20 minutes. Sorry, I was supposed to be here at 5, but shit happens. I don't know, you guys. Shit happens, all right? Number 2, don't bully yourself. Don't bully yourself. Don't bully yourself on your grieving experience. Don't make your own self feel bad. Look, there's a lot of shit coming at you. There's a lot of people coming at you. They all have ideas. They have ideas on the way you should grieve and the way you should do it and the way you should handle your grief. Why are you going to allow them to tell you how to be? Then you're going to do it to yourself. Don't do that. Grievers beat themselves up enough. I should have been this way. I should have been stronger. I should do this. I shouldn't do that. There you go, shouldn't on yourself, right? I'm telling you, we knock ourselves up. We beat our own selves up. I promise you, don't do that. Emotions aren't right or wrong. They just are. I say that all the time. Emotions aren't good or bad. They're not sweet or sour. They just are. They fall under a category, yes, but they just are. My aunt says, you're still going on about that? My heart to yours, love. And you need to say, thank you. Yes, I am. And until I figure out how I'm going to do this, I will still be going on about it. Hey, Miss Sarah. Hey, Suzanne. Hey, Aida. Hey, Rachel. Hey, Monette. Hey, everybody. I'm just here for a quick minute. I got a client at 7 o'clock. I was supposed to be on at 5. Like I said a little bit earlier, shit happens, and I had to go get the twins from school. So that's where we are. I'm doing what not to do when grieving. Don't talk yourself out of grieving. That's huge. That's huge. Don't talk yourself out of grieving. Don't talk yourself out of grieving. Don't bully yourself while you are grieving. There's enough shit going on in the world that people will talk about and try to do to your grief. Don't allow them to come on your grief healing journey and make plans for you or tell you how to do it, and you don't do it to them. Okay, don't bully yourself. Behavior is what we choose. Our behavior during our grieving experience is what we choose. But even there, we have to give ourselves some grace. Nobody grieves perfectly. Did you hear what I just said? Nobody grieves purposely. Hey, Lusa, my name is Sharon Brubaker. I'm the owner of the Grief School. Go into the profile and download that grief shit. My heart to yours. Can you tell us her first name? Can you tell us mom's first name? Just her first name. Everybody, when she tells us her name, can we tap the screen for Lusa's mom? She lost her 17 days ago. Truly, my heart to yours, love. I define guilt off Mary. Everybody, let's tap the screen for Mary and for Lusa. Lisa said my husband passed 33 days ago. Lisa, my heart to yours, love. My heart to yours. My name is Sharon Brubaker, and I'm the owner of the Grief School. I teach women an educational program on grief and loss. Miss Lisa, please share his first name with us. Share his first name with us so we can give you some love tonight. I define guilt as intent to do harm. Ricardo, everybody, let's tap the screen for Lisa and Ricardo. Thank you, Aida. Thank you. I define guilt as an intent to do harm. Did you intend to harm them? If not, then you're probably carrying regret, not guilt. Grievers want to come in here all the time and tell me about guilt. And then they want to jack up the way they're grieving because of the guilt. Here's my question. Is there something you're blaming yourself for? Is there something you're blaming yourself for? Okay, number 3. Don't lock the grief monster in the closet. What not to do when grieving. Don't talk yourself out of it. This, I think, number 1 is the biggest. Don't bully. Don't talk yourself out of it. Don't bully yourself. And number 3, don't lock the grief monster up. Don't lock the grief monster up in the closet because he'll never come out. You'll never get him out. If you decide grief is ugly, Grief is mean. Grief is broken. You put him in the closet. I promise you, you're never going to get him out. To Lisa, and the other beautiful lady's name is Lisa and Louisa. To Lisa and Louisa, hear me out. You're both brand new grievers. I want you guys to both understand this. Grief sucks, and it sucks big time. Grief sucks, and it sucks big time. And most of the advice that you're going to get out in the world is going to be misinformation. Here's what I want you to do. Do the parts that feel right to you. Do what feels right to you. But by all means, lean into the suck. Do not, as much as you can, push back against the suck. I just finished this book. 2 more weeks and this book will no longer be free, and it's that grief shit. Click the link in my bio, click the picture, and download that grief shit. Right? Follow me on the other socials. On Thursday afternoon, I'm going to be live in the Facebook group only. The Facebook group is the Grief School. Okay, guys, let me get back to the lesson. I get so excited about everything. Don't lock the grief monster in the closet. Don't pretend like he doesn't exist. In the beginning, grief feels like a monster has invaded your life. Sometimes it feels too big. It feels terrifying, so we hide. But hiding grief grows the teeth even bigger. When you shine a light on it and you pay attention to it, it loses its power. It loses its power. In the late 1960s and early 70s, there was a movie called The Blob. The Blob was this thing, this red, gooey, jello-y thing that somebody took and put in the freezer. Somewhere along the way, the blob fell out of the freezer. And every time it would get wet, it would grow bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's what happens to us with our grief. The grief becomes the blob. It starts to take over our life because we do not shine a light on it. But my friends, if you want it to get smaller, you got to shine a light on it. What do I mean by shining a light? I mean, let it be. Let it be there. Lean into the suck. It's going to hurt. This is the other thing I promise you. As hard as you think this is, it's going to be much harder. And I'm so sorry to tell you that. But hiding grief causes it to grow teeth and grow bigger. Facing grief directly reveals that it's not in control of your life. It's not in control as you thought it was going to be. Both of you ladies are really early in your grief. So getting control is going to take a little bit longer. Hello, Julie. You got to face the pain instead of running from it. That's how we get it to shift. We talk about it. We share about it. We talk about our person. That's how we get it to shift. Once we can start getting the grief to shift, we can go after it and go after the pain. All right, number 4, and my final one, I have 5. Don't write off humankind. Suzanne, you hear that? Don't write off humankind. Let's see if I can get this humankind. Listen to me. There's a lot of people that are going to come onto your grief healing journey, and I'm telling you, you guys, they got a lot of stupid advice. There are a lot of people out there with dumb advice. I promise you there's a lot of people out there with lies, with cliches, with awkward responses. They post stupid memes on social media and they think it's funny. People say awkward things, right? Cliches. They minimize your grief. They're going to minimize your grief as much as they can. And that hurts. That hurts. I promise you that hurts. The temptation to cut everyone off is going to be huge, especially around 3 or 4 weeks after the funeral, because they all leave. They all leave. Lisa says it's so many emotions. Yes, my love, it is. It's so many emotions. Suzanne says she's not convinced. It's so many emotions, and everything you're feeling comes at you so fast. But don't write off humankind. The temptation to cut everyone off You have that temptation, but don't do it. There will be some grief friends. We are all grief friends in this group. We're grief friends that hang out. We're grief friends. We know how to listen. We know how to hear the grief. We know how to talk grief. We talk about all that grief shit that keeps us tied down. And when you find your grief friends, when you find who they are, you hold on tight to them. You hold on tight to them like never before. Not everyone will walk beside you on your grief. Hello, not everyone will walk beside you on your grief. Do you hear me? Not everyone will walk beside you. Phil, yes. Phil says, can you describe what Jennifer said, survivor's guilt? Yes. I am teaching a class on survivor's guilt Thursday. So grateful for my grief friends here. Yeah. No, they don't. They don't actually run. Sometimes they don't, yeah, but a lot of times they do. There are a lot of grievers out that have no one to sit by them in their grave. Can you believe that? And that hurts. That really does hurt. But sometimes you got to get your grief support from people you don't know. And that's okay, because they're the ones who understand it. They're the ones who know what you're doing. They're the ones who actually get it, right? Some of them actually do get it, and they're the ones we have to get our help from. Okay, hold on one second, Phil. I want to tell you something really quickly. Phil, you got to give me a minute. On Thursday at 1 p.m., in the Facebook group, I'm doing a 1-hour lesson on survivor's guilt. On Thursday at 1 p.m. in the grief group, the grief school, I'm doing a 1-hour lesson on survivor's guilt. All right. So, number 5, the darkness will end. I got to put that one. Where am I going to put that? I'm going to put it down here. The darkness will end. Let me tell you about that. There's a lie going around the world and all over the universe that you will feel like this for the rest of your life. These are Central Standard Time. Thank you, Suzanne. There is a lie going around the world that you will be like this for the rest of your life. And that is not true. It is simply not true. You will not be like this for the rest of your life. Hey, Joanna. In the worst moments, the pain feels eternal, and I know it. I promise you it does. You'll think, I'm never going to breathe again. That lady is crazy. I can't do this. I can't do this. No, I can't do this. I can't. Listen to me. I know you said you could do it, but I can't do this. There will be moments where you absolutely feel like you can't do this. You will think, I'm never going to breathe again. You will actually hold your breath. You will actually hold your breath, because that seems safer than breathing in all this pain. But your grief will shift over time. And it shifts over time when you do the work. The fog lifts, my friends. It does lift. And healing does grow in your entire body. The path forward won't always look like your old life, but it can hold peace. It can hold joy, and it can hold purpose. And I got to read that again. Your path forward won't always look like your old life, because that life is gone. That life is gone, my friends. And I'm so sorry to tell you that you are forever changed. You are forever changed. The path forward won't look like the old life, but can hold peace. It can hold joy, and it can hold purpose. Grief comes in waves, and it absolutely does. But the waves don't last forever. Neither does the darkness. So that's the line that we see on social media all the time. Our grief comes in waves. And they didn't finish the sentence. But I'm here to finish the sentence. It sure as hell does come in waves, but the waves don't last forever. You got to go after it. And I don't know what your valley of grieving is going to be. Some people are a year, some people are 2 years, some people are 5 years. Everybody's different. Everybody's different. I have no timeline. I have no map. When was the last time you felt even a flicker of relief? I know some of you are brand new grievers in here and you're not going to feel that. Justice for Jennifer says, twin loss is so hard. Can't even begin to imagine. Can't even begin to imagine. Lisa says, yes, it does. It absolutely does. Okay, guys. My name is Sharon Brubaker. I'm the owner of the Grief School. And I wrote this that I'm giving to you for free. It is a workbook. It is a workbook. And with the workbook, you're going to get an email every day with a 3-minute training video. This thing's really great. I am actually having it redone. So it's only going to be free for about 2 more weeks. Okay. So if you want to get it, click my picture, then click the link that says click here for hope. If you're in the Facebook, you want to click the link that says click here for hope. Let's do a quick review. Do not deny your grief. Do not deny your grief. Don't talk yourself out of the grief. Don't bully yourself. Do not bully yourself. Do not hide the grief monster in the closet. Don't cut everyone off. There are some people, you will look at them and you will know for a fact that she is never coming on my grief healing journey. She's crazy. I'm not bringing her on. This person is coming. I know she's going to come. I know she's going to show up for me. And guess what? They don't show up. Sometimes that happens. So be prepared. But that person, no, she'll never show up for me. But I wish she would. And that's the one who shows up for you. So don't discount humankind because we don't know who's going to show up for you, right? Don't believe that the darkness will last forever. Don't believe this. If you're tired of carrying it alone, if you're tired of carrying this weight alone, join me every Tuesday in Grief Study Hall. It's every Tuesday at 1 Central Standard Time. You click the link in the bio, click the link that says click here for hope, and you sign up. And you come every Tuesday at 1 o'clock. Today, we talked about loneliness. We asked questions about loneliness. We actually did a brain dump on loneliness. We shared stories. There were grievers in there that actually shared some actionable steps of what they're doing right now. Okay, that's where we sit in the realness together. And this is where we process the pain together. You can register right here at click here for hope. Forever Seth's mom, tomorrow marks 1 year since I lost my son, and I'm so heartbroken. Forever Seth's mom, Seth's mom, my heart to yours. Everybody, can we tap the screen for Seth's mom? Can we give her some love? Can we tap the screen? I have a question for you, my love. Sarah's giving you some love and some hugs. Sarah has a beautiful son, Chris. And she's sending you love right away. I want to ask you this. Do you have a plan for tomorrow? What's your plan for tomorrow? You don't have to answer it here. But what's your plan for tomorrow? This is for everybody. When we come upon a milestone that we are celebrating, the 1-year anniversary, their birthday, the holidays, any of those things, we want to have a plan. We got to have a plan. What is your plan for tomorrow? Now, Austin drowned in 2006. Austin was my nephew. Austin is the one that got me to studying out grief. And so one of the things that we did was we always had a plan. Doesn't take the grief away, doesn't take the pain away, but having the plan gives you some motivation and something to work towards and put your grief on. It gives you a place to lay your grief. Yes, we're having a cookout for the family and we're lighting lanterns. Love it. I don't want my grief to end. My grief makes me continue to miss the love I was so fortunate to have. Phil, I hear you. I thought that Austin left me with this pain and that if I got rid of the pain, it would be a disrespect to him. One, it would be a disrespect to him. Two, if I got rid of this pain, then I'm going to feel worse. I would forget him. I wouldn't be able to think about him. And that, Phil, is not true. Okay, guys, I got to leave in a minute, but I'm going to do this. Phil, there's 2 types of grief. There's intellectual grief and there's emotional grief. Friends, I've been doing this since 2007. I've been teaching grief since 2007. I just didn't just fall off the turnip truck. I lost Austin in 2006. I lost my dad in 2014. 2015, I lost Donovan, Austin's brother Donovan. And 2017, I lost my best friend Sharon, my best friend in the whole wide world. A month and a half ago, my mother's husband passed away, and his name was Lawrence. And I've had multiple aunts and uncles that have passed. But here's the deal, Phil. When you say, I don't want to do this, it's a thought. I don't want to do this. I don't know how to do this. It's a thought. And what happens is the thought keeps you captive in your brain. But here's the deal, Phil. Grief doesn't happen in your brain. It's happening in your heart. The pain is in your heart. Here's the other thing that happens in your heart, Phil. The pain is in your heart, and the pain starts to become familiar. It becomes familiar. This is me. Austin was gone, and all I was left with was this broken heart and this pain. And I didn't want to get rid of that pain, because if I got rid of that pain, that meant I was letting go of my little boy Austin. But here's the deal, friends. I did the much needed work. I did the much needed work on my grief pain, and I worked it out. And what was left for me was so much more love. The love actually seemed bigger than before. Because what fills the hole where this pain is love. I can talk about him. I can share photos of him. I can actually sit around people and tell stories of him. And sometimes I even cry. Sometimes I even shed a tear. All of that happens, my friends. When I tell you that all of that happens, it does happen. The thought, I don't want to get rid of this pain, will keep you locked in your grief. And it will keep you locked in your grief for a very long time. I feel guilty if I don't cry for him. Gagas, here's the deal. Tears are not your grief. Tears are a sign of your love. Tears are a sign of your pain. The tears are not your grief, my love. They never were, and they never will be. Tears help us remove the energy. They help us move the grief along. You love him. You love him. Don't let your brain talk you out of how much you love him, because you do love him. You absolutely love him. Don't let your brain talk you out of it. You're allowed to cry. You can go through an entire grieving experience and not shed one tear. Seth's mom, that's not true. Seth's mom said, I've been told the harder the grief, the more you love. That is not true. I don't know who told you that. That's absolutely not true. Listen to me. Thank you, Monette. Listen to me. Seth's mom. Okay. You guys, I gotta go. I got a client at 7 o'clock. All grief is experienced at 100%. All grief is experienced at 100%. If it's the grief that you have for your fur baby, the grief that you have for your mailman, the mailman that you've known for 40 years, Bob, had a massive heart attack and he died. That grief is experienced at 100%. The grief for your husband is experienced at 100%. I just don't know how much of 100% is in here for you, because it's all based on your relationship with your person. It's all based on your relationship. I just said to you, my mother's husband died. My father died in 2014. 3 years ago, my mother remarried. She remarried a family friend. I've known him my entire life. His name was Lawrence. I did not have an intimate relationship with Lawrence. I respected him. He was my friend. I'm sad. My heart is broken. But there is no way in hell that I grieve Lawrence the way I grieve my dad. There's no way. But I grieve Lawrence at 100% based on my relationship with him. I grieve my dad at 100% based on my relationship with him. There's no hierarchy in grief, friends. I'm not going to grieve more, and you're not going to grieve more, and you're not going to grieve more. Everybody's grief is different. Everybody's grief is different, and everybody's grief is unique to them. Everyone's grief is different and unique to them. Guys, I only could come in for 20 minutes. My plan was to come in at 5. And like I said, shit happens, and this is what happens tonight. Yes, so Seth's mama, you're grieving your baby at 100%. But look at it this way. I want to also say this. You've known him since the day you conceived him. You knew everything about him. You knew every little idiosyncrasy about him. He was your life and your heart. I would never compare Seth to somebody you hardly know. We can feel sad for somebody we hardly know. We can feel bad, but it's not going to compare to Seth. Listen, really quickly, guys. In 2006, Austin drowned at the lake. He was 10 years old. He was my nephew. The 18-year-old nephew passed on September 16th. Jess, what was your nephew's name? What's your nephew's name? On 2006, Austin drowned at the lake. In 2015, I had to tell my sister that she had lost another child. She lost Donovan, her 21-year-old son. So Seth's mom, tell me, which one does she grieve for more? Which one was the worst grief? Which one was the most painful grief? Which one was the ugliest grief? They both, and they were both different, and they both showed up differently, and each of them were different because they were based on her relationship with those boys. And both of them dropped her to her knees, and both of them made her feel like she wasn't going to live again, and both of them took her breath away. And she had to crawl back out of both of them. Right? So I'm sorry. I just don't buy into that comment that if you grieve hard, then you love deeply. It's just not true. Cameron, everybody, can we tap the screen for Cameron? Jess, my heart to yours, love. My heart to yours. And even though I've lost a nephew, I'm going to stand here and tell you, I have no idea what your grief feels like. I know what a broken heart feels like. I absolutely know what a broken heart feels like. I lost my son on July 11th, and it feels like it was yesterday. It was yesterday. And it was yesterday. Absolutely. That's what it feels like. What am I doing? I'm digging myself out, and I don't like it. No, nobody likes it. Says Mama, nobody likes it. Please, listen to me. Thank you. I think you're talking to Ann. She said, Ann said, I'm so sorry for your loss. It is never going to be fun. No way. And nobody wants to do it. Who the hell wants? You are crawling yourself out of the dirt. Your nails are getting dirty. And sometimes you get up the side of the mountain and you get pushed back down. When I tell you this is the worst, hardest, most miserable thing you'll ever do, it almost seems like I sugarcoated it when you have to go through it. There's so many mamas in here who have lost children. There's so many women in here who have lost husbands. There's women in here who have lost their parents, their best friend. Guys, I really got to get going. I will be back tomorrow here at 8 p.m. On Thursday, I'm teaching a class, a 1-hour class in the Facebook group called The Grief School. Join the Facebook group. I'll allow you in. It's going to be on survivor's guilt. I'm teaching it on Thursday at 1 p.m. Thursday at 1 p.m. Phil, for that class, only women are in the Facebook group, but it will be on the YouTube. So you can join the YouTube. Yeah, Rachel says, thank you. I got to go too. I love you all. Follow me here. Click my picture. Download this book, That Grief Shit. It's only going to be free for 2 more weeks. And then we have some exciting stuff coming down the pike. Says Mom, I'm so sorry for your pain. Phil says, so sorry for your pain. Phil, thank you. Thank you so much. You have helped me. I'm so honored to be here. My name is Sharon Brubaker. I'm the owner of the Grief School. The Grief School is a private university and the place where healing begins. I start teaching you all about grief here, and then we do the work there. I love you all. Have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow night at 8.